The Republic of Tunisia is in North Africa. It not only contains the eastern end of the Atlas Mountains, but also borders both the Mediterranean Sea and the Sahara Desert. Tunisia's population is over 11 million, over 60% of which is Berber. One of the most important ingredients in Tunisian cuisine is harissa, a hot pepper chili paste, which is used in countless dishes. Today, we scale towering mountains, cross harsh, blazing deserts, and swim the deepest and most unforgiving seas to find out which is the finest snack in all of Tunisia. It's time for more international flavor right now on You Tried It! You Tried Dat! Without Borders. I'm Nick Novak with my pals Chad Hancock,
Howdy.
Nick Geiger.
Build that wall. Oh wait, no, without borders. Sorry.
Oh,
Shit! Wrong podcast.
Also, I want to be clear. I have scaled no mountains here. I'm not scaling mountain one for these.
Have you swam seas?
No.
Have you swam D's C's?
If it came down to scaling mountains, swimming seas, or crossing deserts, which would be your first choice?
Oof.
I guess I have scaled mountains before, but not like hard ones. Are the mountains hard? Or are they like?
The mountains have semis.
It's a flaccid mountain.
Are the mountains covered in pre-cum? So there's like, because I remember, I'm just gonna make fun of my brother real quick because he was like, he moved to Colorado and then he was all about like, I want to do all these 14ers out here in Colorado, which is like mountains that are above, I think it's 14,000 feet. And so he's like, I'm going to check off all the 14ers, but like one of them you can drive up to the top of. And I'm like, that doesn't count. That is not an accomplishment. But I would drive to the top of a mountain for a brownie. So
Novak, would you rather swim Lake Placid or climb Mount Flaccid?
I'm a little worried about Chad's brother going around telling people that he wants to do a bunch of 14ers because I don't know that lingo.
Especially given his habit of going to the park at lunch and just randomly cleaning trash.
Look, in Colorado, 14ers are okay. Different laws out here.
I think of those three, it's clearly mountain. You got to go mountain because,
oh yeah,
I mean, swimming, you can die. You don't make it, you die. You just stop swimming and drown. And then desert is just brutal. It's like just hot and sweaty and sand. It gets everywhere, or whatever that quote is from Star Wars.
Geiger, you recently went to a Winterfest and had something interesting happen to you. Better be interesting.
Good segue, man. So, yeah, we went to this Winterfest a couple weeks ago, and it's just like they had like random. So there's two things that happened. One I want to get your opinion on. The other was just funny. So we went there, and it had like just a couple random things. They did like a dog sledding demonstration and let the kids like pet the dog sled dogs. And they did like snowshoeing, and they did like there's a little curling station, and there's a nature walk. It was nice. But we got in line for, they had like this hayride. It's like any festival, there's a stupid hayride where you wait in line forever and then get in a wagon that's drawn by a horse and it goes like, you wait half an hour to go like 5 minutes around and get off. But it's fine. The kids wanted to do it. So
sure.
It was nearing the closing time. And so this old guy that's working there went and stood at the end of the line with like a big like orange blazer to like cut people off. And like when they kind of try to come up, he said, no, this is the end of the line. We're going to take whoever's left. And then that's it. And so he's just kind of standing there. And this girl had been eating. There's another station where you can make s'mores. So this little girl had made a bunch of s'mores and somehow got a bunch of the marshmallow all in her hair. And her mom was like, she was at the back of the line. My wife and my kids and I were at the back of the line. There's one family behind us. And the family behind us is the one with the marshmallow. And so the old guy, just as a joke, is like, and they're like talking like, oh, your hair is all sticky and, it's all tangled now. What are you doing? And the old guy makes a joke. He's like, oh, I got a knife with me. I could just cut the hair off for you. And like everyone laughed. It was just kind of goofy. You know, it was clearly like a lovely old man. Like, you know, we all laughed.
A
And then we're all kind of
lovely
like
old
dying down,
man?
like stopping. Huh?
Did you call the old
He was
man
lovely.
lovely?
He was a lovely old man.
Was everyone laughing, but he was just staring intently at her hair? Just no expression on his face.
Just slowly, he had like a big whetstone. He had this giant Bowie knife. He was just slowly sharpening it. No, but that's so like the laughter kind of died down. He goes, "No, but really, I do have a knife." And like we all just kind of stopped and looked at him, and he was no longer. He goes, "Oh, I mean, no, not that I would use it on your daughter's hair." And like the mom starts like pulling the girl slightly forward and like getting closer to us and like, "No, ma'am, no, I wouldn't. Obviously, without your permission, I wouldn't cut your daughter's hair." And I'm like, I was like covering my face. I'm like trying not to laugh because I don't want him like piss the guy. I don't know what he's gonna do now, but it's like he felt compelled to convince this lady that he wasn't gonna hack his daughter's hair off with a knife. But yeah, there's like for some reason the line of no, but I really do have a knife. Like dead serious. I couldn't stop laughing. So then we had to stand in awkward silence next to this guy for the next 20 minutes while this thing came by. And we were like I kept joking to my wife because like people kept coming up and asking if they get out of the hayride, and he's like, no, we're all done. Or he kept going like, watch, he's gonna fucking stick you if you try to get in line. Like,
you didn't ask to see the knife? I
did not ask to see the knife. I didn't wait till he pulled it out and say, that's not a knife. I didn't do any knife related bits with him.
I would have just been like, whip that shit out. Let's see it.
You can cut my kid's hair and just hold up my son. He's like, no.
We should spend the next 20 minutes just awkwardly talking about it and then just cut her hair off and it's like, you made me do this.
Look, I'm just saying that if you truly were in a predicament where you needed the marshmallow removed, I have an apparatus which can do so. So then the question
I would never do what I'm doing right now without your permission, like this.
Here, let me demonstrate what I wouldn't do unless I had your explicit written consent, signed in triplicate. Shing.
It was really weird then. So he went like to reach in his bag to get these tickets for the hayride, and a bunch of random people's hair just spilled out. And I was like, "Oh, I see it now. You're a hair collector."
No, I feel like you miss an opportunity to be like, "Well, look, if you're interested in cutting some hair, I have one to cut," and then you pull out like a single pube. Just
one
stretch
to
it
cut.
out.
What an opportunity.
For the record, I also want to show Chad made a gesture where he started at his crotch and pulled his hand up near to his nose. And I would like to know how long your fucking pubes are, my friend.
I got those 6-foot pubes, motherfucker.
Oh, I got them thick ass pubes.
So he never gave an explanation for why he actually had the knife, just that.
I mean, did I want one at that point? I didn't want anything to do with this gentleman. I was a little worried. But no, he didn't say why he had the knife. And I didn't see what type of knife
was it to like cut hay bales or something, maybe?
Well, he turned around and I realized he had a katana on his back. I think that's what he meant. And I wish I had asked him more about it in retrospect. Yeah, cutting hay bales.
He had to make it look like it wasn't to cut the girl's hair, so he like stabbed some other guys. I was just gonna kill this guy. It was really nothing about the hair.
Yeah. He had he started putting on like a barber's jacket and he pulled a comb out and he was like, no, I didn't ask to do her hair. That's not what I meant. And yeah, and then he murdered someone. And he's like, no hay rides, and he stuck him in the face.
I'm not a pedophile. I'm just a murderer.
I just wanted to cut this guy's chest hair, and he just like cuts his chest open.
And then it turned out that he was wearing a wig made of human hair, but it was just his own, so it made sense. He cut his own hair off and then placed it on top of his head. That made no sense.
Pieced together with marshmallow.
Yeah. It's a gooey toupee. So then the question I wanted to ask you guys real quickly. So we got to the front of the line and we realized you were supposed to have bought wristbands when you walked into this place, but we had come in from the other side because the parking was all full. So we parked down the street and then walked across the field and realized we had paid for nothing. And so we had waited in line for 40 minutes at this point for this goddamn hayride. And I'm worrying. I'm like, oh shit. So I was like, look, we're not getting on a line and getting a wristband. I'm not doing this. Keep your coats all over your wrists. And if they ask, we'll leave. or just play dumb, like, oh, I didn't know. And if they do, like, fine, we're just getting on. And we get to the end, and my son like reads the sign. He goes, "Oh, Dad, you need wristbands. We don't have." And he goes, "We don't have." And I go, "Shut up!" I literally yelled like, "Shut up!" And he goes, "What?" I'm like, just enough. Just put your coat off. Don't take your coat off." He's like, "What?" I'm like, "Don't take your coat off." And so I basically encouraged my son to lie. And I'm asking you if you guys would do this. I feel like I know what you guys would do. But either no, you couldn't pay me to get out of that line and potentially not go on this hayride after waiting 40 minutes for it, and to go pay somebody like $10 so I could have a wristband to get on this goddamn ride.
What I would have done is I would have grabbed your son by the scalp, sliced off a bunch of his hair with my knife, and then quickly wrapped it around my wrist and been like, "Here's my wristband."
I definitely would have done almost the same thing as you. Maybe I would have prepped now upon hearing your story, I would have prepped my kids a little more. When we get to the front, don't you say a damn word. But yeah.
Well, I didn't want to call it out because I didn't want my kids going like, "Dad, I'm covering my wrist," like real ostentatious thing.
Right. It's obviously not about the money. It's just the waiting in line. Like if they were selling wristbands in
I
line.
would have gladly given them the money.
Wait, did you guys get on the ride then, or did you get found out?
Oh, we ride that fucking ride for fucking free. You hear that, Winterfest? You fucking suckers.
Is that because you grabbed that dude's knife at the last minute?
Because I paid him the money. He just sat there next to me with a knife out, so no one actually. They went to like check my wrist. And he whipped the knife at him, and I just like slowly pulled my wrist back, my sleeve.
I probably would have done the same thing because I'm sure that the person that was like checking the wristbands was probably some 17-year-old kid, like doesn't give two shits about it. You know what I mean?
Nope. Like a 35 to 40-year-old woman.
Did she give shits?
She did not check. She gave you zero shits. The horses gave lots of shits over the course of the hayride. She gave They gave giant stinky horse shits.
I probably would. Would I? I feel like
I
probably would have just explained to her like, "Hey, we don't have wristbands." But then what if that backfires? Oh man. So
at that point, I was like, we need to get on this hayride so we can go home. I'm not about to. I'm screwed either way. Either I'd miss out on the hayride and I hear crying from my daughter for the next 5 minutes, like when I could clearly just pull her around in a wagon in a field someday. She really wanted a hayride. Same experience, right? I could stop and take some shits along the way. Or I end up like telling my kids to lie. Like I was in it was a bad spot, but I chose the one of least resistance at that point.
Yeah.
If I was like directing a show and it was about your life, it would be you saying, "I've got a plan," and then you drag your kids off camera, and then the next shot is you and the kids and all the family clinging to the underside of the hayride as it moves.
And then like the comedic beat is when the horse takes a giant dump and it's inches from my face, and I look back at the camera like, whoa.
Wah, wah. Or else you like find one wristband on the ground, and so then all of your whole family like just sits on each other's shoulders with one giant trench coat. You're like a 14-foot tall person. Here's my wristband.
But then we get to the end of the hayride, and we're about to get to the car, and we hear a click, and I turn around, and this guy's holding a knife out, and he goes, "I hear somebody didn't pay for their wristband." And then we had to.
Wait, what is this show? Is it a comedy or?
It's got all kinds of good stuff.
You know what the punishment for not getting the wristband is? One pube. Shing.
Right. It's called pubes, and it has nothing to do with pubic hair. Other than that, it's a dystopian future in which everything is paid for in pubic hair. I've come for my hairs. Oh God, no! That's what men are. It's a male-run society because they have the longest pubes.
Excuse me, 14-foot tall man. I hear you have the longest pubes in existence.
They're just like dragging on the ground. I'm down here underneath your pubes. What?
I'm gonna need me some of them pubes.
All right, well,
let's eat some
Tunisia.
snacks. Yeah, let's eat some. So we rate these Tunisian snacks on a 5-point scale. I love that, like that, indifferent to that, dislike that, and hate that. And Chad, what's the story? These come from Chrissy, right?
Yeah, these come from a friend of the podcast, Chrissy, who we've had on a couple different times. She is currently stationed in Libya through her job. But the base that they operate out of is Tunisia, so she goes back and forth from Tunisia to Libya. So she couldn't find any Libyan snacks, so the next best thing was a couple Tunisian ones. So all three of these are manufactured from in Tunisia, and she shipped them to me from there.
All right, we're excited to try them. Chrissy, we want you to come back soon so we can talk to you again. It's been a minute since we've had her on the show.
Yeah. Thanks for sending these.
Yeah, absolutely. We are going to try the Mad Fritz to start. The Mad Fritz is a small, like mini Pringles looking style canister, and what on the outside appears to be like a shoestring potato shaped chip. So I'm not sure exactly what it's supposed to be. It just says original, but there's not a lot of explanation of what it is.
Doesn't the word original look like it's like, what is it on top of that? Is that it, oh, I guess
The
now
salt
it's a
shaker.
salt
Salt
shaker. I thought it was like a cigarette. Like,
It's a can full of used cigarettes. Look at me.
what kind of flavors of stuff are they making over there in Tunisia? Cigarette flavored chips?
I feel like we could talk most Americans into like, oh yeah, the snack you get in Tunisia is just a bunch of ground up cigarette butts that you just chew on.
So, but when you open them, they're like
Yeah.
square but hollow, or
They
you
look
know,
like French fries with the ends cut
they look
off.
like French
Yeah.
fries, but that are hollow,
Or like a
with the
Masta
ends cut
choli
off and
noodle.
hollow.
Veggie
Yeah.
straws, basically.
Yeah, that's
Is
good
kind of
word.
the consistency of them.
They could not taste more bland.
Yeah, a less like fried looking veggie straw. It's very smooth on the outside. There's not a lot of flavor.
This is like just a cracker. That's it.
I guess
It's
original
like
is a flavor, yeah.
A boring ass cracker.
Yeah, could definitely use a little more salt. I think
There's a little something there. They're not.
a little bit, but
Alright.
with the presence of a cigarette / salt shaker on the can, I was expecting either more salt or more ash
Fritz.
flavor.
If this is a mad amount of Fritz, I'd hate to see a normal amount.
Geiger, you're gonna start us off. What do you think of Mad Fritz, and what rating will you give it?
I don't think much of them. This to me is the absolute definition of an indifferent to dat. They're just there. Like they're not bad. They're mildly snack like. Sorry, I had a mad sneeze there.
Is allergic to Mad Fritz?
I sneezed so hard I had a mad shits. They're just fine. I mean, they just taste like a very bland. Like you hit it on the head with veggie straws, where the consistency is not the same, but the shape and it kind of tastes like them too. They taste a little less fried, like you said. They're a little drier than that, but it doesn't even taste salty, like Chad said. It's just I'm basically eating texture. That's it. So they're not bad. It's not like I can't eat them. I just don't know why I would. They're essentially like not eating anything at all other than the calories. So I will give them a straight up indifferent. They're whatever. They're there.
Okay, an indifferent for Mad Fritz to start. Chad, do you agree?
I do agree. I'm a little more bullish on them than Geiger, though. I think these things have a lot of potential. On their own, they're very pointless. I think a different flavor of these, a ranch or maybe a cheese kind of flavor, could be pretty good. Or I think these would be really, really good dipped in something, right? Like dipped in a ranch sauce or dipped in, I don't know, hummus or something. I think they could be really good. But on their own, they're sort of pointless, so indifferent to that.
I'm even more bullish than you guys. I keep going back for them. There's a little bit of salt there and a little bit of some kind of flavor that's just a like generic potato chippy type of flavor. I actually like them. I'm going to give them a like that. It's a low level like that, but for me, I continue to eat them enough for me to feel like I would enjoy them more. So two indifferents and a like. A pretty decent start with the Mad Fritz there. We'll save the dessert one for last. So we're gonna move next to the Pocky Pop Puff Snack. Pocky Pop Puff. There's a guy. It's a very long, tall pack. I don't know. I can't think of what else comes in a package like this. But it's a long, skinny package, and half of it, if that, is filled with snack. There's like a ton of empty space in this package.
Yeah.
And the guy on the front is very funny.
He is very funny looking.
He's like...
He's cool, though.
Yeah, he's got a hat on that says cool. He's got sunglasses, a huge goofy grin, 4 teeth, playing a guitar, as a cool guy does.
We should also specify that by guy, we mean it's like a black shape with a mouth. He's not really a
yeah,
human.
I hope it's not actually a guy. Because if it was a guy, that would look very weird.
So these are paprika flavor.
Right. The snacks themselves are very small. It looks like someone took a round cheese puff and like shrunk it down with Honey, I Shrunk the Kids Ray.
It's like a smaller Kix, almost like the Kix cereal.
They're crunchy-ish.
One just fell in my zipper. Sorry, hold on.
There's definitely a little bit of a...
My fly was open and one fell directly into the hole. I mean, not on purpose
Did
at
it
all.
get wrapped up in your long pube?
It's now entangled in my pews. Novak, do you have a knife? Cut this Pocky Pop out.
The paprika is there at the back end. I don't
Yeah, for sure.
taste it a lot at the beginning. They look cheesy, and I'm not sure if they're supposed to also be cheesy.
I don't think they are.
I can't tell if that's a cheese flavor or not.
They have a lot more flavor than the last one. I will say the size to me is kind of annoying. Like they're just so tiny that I feel like they're harder to eat because they're little. I don't know.
Ooh, these I think are a bit tougher. Tougher to... Yeah. Well, Chad, you're up first. What do you think of it?
I'm going back and forth between an indifferent and a dislike. I don't really like the size or the consistency. The flavor is not... I mean, it's not bad, but... yeah. I don't think these are very good. There's just something about the aftertaste. Maybe it's the paprika. that just isn't very good. So yeah, I'm actually gonna go with just barely into disliked after these.
Is there any dish you guys eat that has paprika that you like, that you seek that flavor out?
Paprika ice cream? No. There's. I put paprika, I think, in chili, and I think I've put paprika in other like stews, like of that nature. I don't remember. I think paprika is a main ingredient in goulash. If you like goulash,
I'm sure I've put it in stuff.
how about you know that paprika head?
Definitely not. I think I would avoid it in general. It's not to me a desirable flavor. Like to pick up something with that flavor in a snack, I wouldn't purposely do so. I think it's pretty. I'll just start with my rating here. I think it's pretty minor here. It's there just sort of on the back end.
Yeah.
For 75% of the snacking experience, I taste not much of anything. And the paprika, I guess, just gives a little flavor. It's not overwhelming. I'm going to actually just give this an indifferent to dat. So a dislike, an indifferent. Geiger, I don't know. I got a feeling maybe you are on the other end from us.
Yep, you should trust your instincts. On the paprika topic, I should also say I use smoked paprika quite a bit more for like dry rubs and stuff for like ribs or chicken and things like that. That's all my paprika takes. I just want to make sure you guys had a full catalog. This has been Paprika Talk.
What's your paprika brand of choice?
We normally go with whatever I grab off the shelf at the grocery store. I don't know, McCormick's. Who fucking knows?
What does that mean? You don't grind your own, or like? Of course, it's whatever you get at the grocery store.
Yeah, I mean, well, do you have a favorite brand of paprika?
No, I don't ever buy paprika.
I like Grandpappy's paprika. No,
You were all talking
I
up
mean,
how much fucking paprika you eat, so we were like, "What brand?"
I'm Mr. Paprika all of a sudden. I just want to learn a little bit
when I
about
get up in the
paprika.
morning, pour myself a nice big bowl of paprika, put it back, a little bit of milk. You ever drink paprika milk? It's fucking gross. All right, moving on. So this snack, I do like it. I will give it a like that. This has a 10 times more flavor than the last snack we ate, and to me, that's I don't love the consistency. I'm with you guys on that. It's got that veggie straw kind of not there, just sort of kind of weirdly chewy and crunchy at the same time kind of thing going on. And it's not. I don't like the size, but the taste is mostly what I judge things on, and it's the taste. It actually has a taste, which is a big improvement over the last snack. And I like this taste of paprika. It's salty, but it's got a little bit of other flavor to it. Probably, I'm guessing it's paprika. So I think it's. I like it. I wouldn't go out of my way to seek it out necessarily. It's not my favorite thing I've ever ate, but I will definitely finish the rest of these. These are decent. I'm fine with them.
All right, ratings across the board. It is weird the size of a snack like this that's not sweet, like a salty or savory snack. I can't think of anything else, any American snack that we regularly eat that is the same kind of consistency and size. So it's definitely
Yeah.
something a little bit different. Um, so it's segment time. Chad, you want to take us through?
Yeah. So we're returning to You Drank Dat, and today we are trying the new Mountain Dew Zero Sugar. So Geiger is Mr. Mountain Dew. I think you're the one that wanted to try this out, right?
Sure did.
So this is zero sugar, which makes you wonder why, because isn't that just
Right.
Mountain Dew is just liquid sugar. Has 0 calories, 0 carbs. Like there's nothing. I think it's just like water and salt.
It's water and green food color.
Yeah, and green food.
I mean,
color.
I will say, Diet Mountain Dew is one of the most wretched things. It's terrible.
Yeah,
I love regular Dew because it's like drinking syrup. It just coats your throat. So I'm guessing this will be bad, but I saw it and I knew I was going to drink it regardless of the podcast. So
how's this different from Diet Mountain Dew? They just didn't even put any of the sugar substitutes in it. Basically.
Yeah, it's the same as like Coke Zero versus Diet Coke. I'm guessing, like,
Right.
whatever makes that different.
There's still a decent amount of caffeine in it, which is a highlight of Mountain Dew generally. Now, Geiger, you are one of the more Mountain Dew drinking guys I've ever known. So, what's sort of your history with the Dew? When did you start to do the Dew?
Well, I grew up on a mountain, and we used to make our own from the dew that would hit the ground. No,
Oh, wow.
My dad liked it. My dad used to have it in the house all the time, and I just started drinking as a kid. And it's got like there's no other soda like it in that it really is it's super sweet. It's terrible for your teeth. It's terrible for your body. It's basically a bottle of diabetes. I understand all of these things. To be honest, that is in keeping with the rest of my diet. I literally don't care about myself at all. But it's just
all right.
it's so it's just
Is
so
it time for an
sweet and
intervention.
so much. Also, I've been doing heroin. No, it's so sweet and it's so much smoother than any other soda. Like when you drink other soda, that carbonated bite like gets you in the throat, and some people like that. This is just like drinking like a cold Mountain Dew is just drinking like just the smoothest sugary water you could possibly. And I don't know why. I thought I would grow out of it. I haven't. To the point where I usually don't keep it in the house anymore because if I have it, I'll just drink it like 2 a day, and I don't want to die. So, I'm forced to chain myself from it. In fact, the other day I was really irritated. My wife went to the grocery store and she's like, "I'm gonna get some Diet Pepsi for the house. Do you want something?" I'm like, "You know what? Get me just a single 20-ounce bottle of Mountain Dew. I'll just have one bottle." And she came back with Diet Dew, and I was like, actually mad. I'm like, "God, Betsy!" Like I yelled at her, like, "Stop it! I was looking forward to this." Like it was, and then I'm like, "Oh God, I'm an evil monster. Why am I getting so fucking angry?" So we're divorced, but
and you have just the solution for when somebody brings you a Diet Mountain Dew. You've got your knife.
Slice them pubes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Slice it. Make a switch out of your 6-foot pube.
Do you remember the Mountain Dew commercials? I don't know if that's like was a change in marketing when we were younger, but it became really synonymous with like doing extreme sports and things like that.
Yeah.
And they would be doing the Dew. Uh, which is what is the most Dew like extreme sport that you guys have participated in?
I think the most extreme activity I've partaken in is drinking 2 or 3 Mountain Dews a day for 7 years. I think that's been the most deleterious to my health. Yeah, I don't know. I've tried to
Stabbing
snowboard
civilians
once.
at Winterfest.
Yeah, stabbing people, riding hay rides. I'm
Oh,
not.
you did ride the underside of that hayride. That's
I
kind
did. It was pretty
extreme.
thrilling. Yeah, Mountain Dew has been associated with extreme sports and also video games. It became this big gamer fuel thing that now. So it's got this.
Right.
Either you're a douche bro or you're like a virginous computer nerd. Those are the two core populations of Mountain Dew drinkers. Or me, who's just kind of a schlep in the middle.
Remember that Dew commercial? Remember that Dew commercial where there was a guy snowboarding. He was like flying through the air. Then he held the Dew to the camera, and then there was this guy like doing this huge skateboard move, and then it just showed Geiger riding the underside of a hayride and just holding the Dew towards the camera. A big pile of shit.
Do it, bro. I had the big
I do
mohawk.
remember that one, yeah. That one was good.
Yeah, I remember that.
One of my favorite commercials.
They're playing Van Halen in the background.
Chad, you went skydiving, so that's probably your Dew activity.
Yeah, yeah. I went skydiving, and my parachute was made out of Mountain Dew bottles, recycled Mountain Dew bottles. So that's
Did you do the Dew while you skydid?
While I skyduved.
You're like, hey man, I have to take this Dew with me, and he's like, I don't think it's a good idea.
Like, hold on to the parachute. I'm like, no, I gotta do it.
He's like, we're perilously close to the weight limit this parachute can hold. What are you doing? This dude's gonna put you over the edge.
You opened the Dew, and it all went flying into his face.
No, and then you had to like cut all his beard off with your knife. It was all sticky. Now you guys don't like Dew, right? Regular Dew.
I honestly don't know when the last time I've had one is. Like, it's been decades. Like, I've tasted this one here, and I like. Does this taste anything like a regular Mountain Dew?
A little.
No, I mean it's a little bit, but it's definitely different.
What's our scale, Chad?
Oh, yes. We do have a scale. So we're drinking Mountain Dew here today. So we've got a 3-point scale we're going to rate it on. So let's start at the bottom with Mountain Spew. And then in the middle, it's a Mountain Brew. At the top, Mountain Whew, because we're relieved that it doesn't taste like shit.
No, we reviewed Mountain Dew Ice very early on.
Yes, that's right.
Did we use Mountain Spew for that? Because that sounds familiar.
No, I think we used Ice, maybe.
Oh, that's right. Oh no, okay, right. So, it was much dumber than that. Okay.
So that's that's the last time I've had Mountain Dew was when we did Mountain Dew Ice, which I completely forgot that we did. What was special about Mountain Dew Ice?
It was like lemony or something. It was whitish. I don't remember much about
it. Okay. Geiger, since you are Mr. Dew, we'll have you start.
Mr. Dew. Yeah, it's this is not. I mean, I'm not expecting it to be as good as Dew, and it ain't. Everybody, if you love Mountain Dew, this is not for you. But it's fine. It's, to be honest, I think it had been a while since. Well, it's not been a while since I had a Diet Dew because I had one the other night when my wife got one for me. It's better than, I like it better than Diet. Like, it's less, I think with Diet soda, my problem still is they kind of make it artificially sweet through other ways because they can't put sugar in there. So it's that, I don't know if it's aspartame or something. It's terrible. This doesn't have that flavor. It's basically just a water. To me, this tastes like super watered down flat Dew. Like, it's just not, it's not the super sugary, amped up one that makes you want to jump off the side of a half pipe with a horse. It's but it's fine. It's like a
Right.
citrusy water. So I don't think it's great, but I don't think it's horrible. I would definitely rank this second among the three modern day dews of diet and zero and regular. But I will just give
Code
it
Red?
a. What's that?
What about Code Red?
Oh, Code Red's terrible. All of the variants suck ass. I don't like any of the. Well, I say that not remembering when I gave Mountain Dew Ice, but I like. My dad used to love Live Wire, which is the orange one, and Code Red, and I think those are terrible. I don't like anything other than like Dew 1.0, the standard green juice. I'm a Dew purist, guys. Is what I'm trying to say. So. I would do this Dew, but I will just give it a Mountain middle one. What was
it? Mountain Brew.
Mountain Brew. Mountain Brew. If they had a Mountain Dew beer, that would be fantastic. I would wait in line. They have that your father's Mountain Ale, which we also did on the podcast.
Yeah, we did that in the Oreo tournament. Right?
Yeah.
Chad, I've got a feeling you might not agree with Geiger.
I think there's Mountain Dew zero chance you like this.
Actually, the first couple sips, I thought it was okay. I was prepared to give it a Mountain Brew.
Yeah.
The aftertaste is really bad, and the more I sipped it, it is just kind of like it reminds me a lot of like Gatorade with a little bit of carbonation or something.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's not really like a very very pleasant flavor. It's actually not as gross as I thought it was going to be, though. Like, I think Coke Zero Sugar is pretty gross compared to like regular Coke. It's still not as gross as Diet Coke. Obviously, the diet sodas are the worst. But yeah, this to me is gonna slide down into Mountain Spew.
A brew and a spew, and I feel exactly like Chad did. I didn't like it, but I thought at the beginning it wasn't as bad because it's not as bad as diet, and that's like all of you said. That's what made me think, oh, okay. But the more I drank, the less I wanted to drink it. So there's just something about it it does taste like Mountain Dew. So I think if you like Mountain Dew, and maybe you're trying to be a little healthier, and this is as far as you're willing to go,
and you refuse to work out or drink water.
I do mean a little healthier.
I'm on the Mountain Dew Zero diet.
Then it's not a bad option. I've cut down soda a lot, and I stick to just a couple, just now and then while I have the couple kinds that I like. And I would never, ever break any kind of soda fast for a Mountain Dew Zero. So
oh hell no,
I'm going to.
Hell no.
I actually had like tonight, because I had gone out to dinner, got a Dr. Pepper, and then I had one sitting here on the table, and then tasted that after it, and it's just two different worlds. I don't know if one was available to me, why I would ever drink the other. So I'm going to give it a Mountain Spew. But if it was a 5-point scale, I agree with Chad. I probably would not be giving it the bottom rung. So I do think for Mountain Dew fans, it might be worth trying out.
Doesn't Dr. Pepper have paprika in it?
It may, actually. The 23 flavors,
right?
Might have 23 flavors. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I will admit, like, I am also probably upvoting it just a little bit out of pure, like, I am in the bag for Mountain Dew as Chad would be for Reese's. So I am probably giving it slightly a better grade than it maybe deserves. I'll admit that.
I actually think I might drink this over a regular Mountain Dew.
Really?
I need to try a regular Mountain Dew and see what happens. No paprika in Dr. Pepper.
No? Okay.
No, I just looked it up.
Oh. The only time I ever have Mountain Dew is when I am actually at Geiger's house, and I'm like, "What do you got to drink?" And he's got a
I got all the
cooler full of beer, and he's got
That's
water
what you
and
brush
Mountain
your
Dew.
teeth with in
That's
the
almost
morning. I
always the
definitely
choices.
have had it where I brush my teeth in the morning, and then the first thing I drink later on the day is Mountain Dew, and it tastes terrible because you guys still have that minty freshness in your teeth. It also is kind of defeating the purpose of brushing my teeth. I ended up washing it in Mountain Dew, and then I play Call of Duty, and I sit there and drink some Code Red.
You got
gamer XP.
You got the Mountain Dew mixed up with your Listerine there on
Brew a
the
neckbeard.
bedside table. Just gargle with it.
I had some cool mint germ killing Mountain Dew. It probably would kill a bunch of germs. It's probably just gonna burn them off. I could probably like burn off a wart with it too, but I probably won't. I definitely won't.
Burn off that wart. Do it.
Let's get to the last snack, and I want to hear everyone's pronunciation of this, unprompted. How is this supposed to be said? Chad, you give it a shot first, Chad.
All right. So yeah, my guess was Daily'n Brownie.
Geiger.
Sounds like a Mortal Kombat. Daily'n Brownie. I'll go. Yeah, you say it fast, like Daily'n Brownie.
Yeah, I thought Daily'n Brownie. I think there's a pause there, like cookies and milk.
Okay.
But so it's the word daily.
Shaquille.
The word daily, Daily, and then an apostrophe N, but it's written with much closer to the word daily, so it's almost looked like it's part of the word daily instead of its own separate cut off of N. This is from the outside feels like the moistest brownie that's ever been prepackaged.
I know. I'm very excited about this.
Now, is it hazelnuts inside or something? What's that on the front?
Noisette? Yeah, it says noisette. I don't know. So there is something inside of the brownie.
It looks far less appealing when you open it up. Oh, it's got like a little. Oh, it has like a paper wrapper on the underside. Like it's in kind of a I don't know, what is this thing? Like a tissue-ish paper.
That is bizarre. Yeah, it's almost like a cupcake wrapper around the outside.
Okay, just real quick. I'm trying to figure out what noisette is. So I go to Google and I type noisette Tunisian translation. And it auto-detected that my language was Finnish and translated noisette Tunisian into you rise to Tunisia. So there you go. That's what we're eating. A Finnish... Makes no sense.
This thing is very wet for a prepackaged snack.
Oh my god, it just completely disintegrated.
Moist ass.
Yeah, it falls apart very easily.
Sticking to the wrapper real bad. That cupcake wrapping of mine
spilled all over my couch.
It is
everywhere.
Did Christy bake these for? Did Christy bake these for us and just put it in the wrapper?
It's very moist. I would give it that.
Is there actually anything inside? I can't tell because the brownie just collapsed into a million pieces.
I'm a quarter of the way through and haven't found anything.
I found a little chunk of hard something. I had one little hard nub, but I don't know if that was just a hard nub of brownie or it was an actual nut.
I'm just tearing it apart now to see if I can find the thing.
It's harder to find nuts in these brownies than it is to find my nuts under all these pubes.
I'm not finding anything hard.
Yeah.
Not the first time it's been said in your household this week, right? But shot. Wait, rim shot.
We don't have the rim shot anymore.
Oh, shit.
This is the hardest one yet, I think.
So far, this is just making me vacuum up the floor because I've been dropping brownie bits everywhere.
It's super difficult.
This isn't bad.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I don't want to go first, so I'm going to make Chad go first. Chad, what do you think?
You bastard. This is hard because, look, there's a couple factors at play here. On the one hand, brownies in general, right, are one of the best dessert foods, right? Like fresh baked brownies out of the oven. Like, who doesn't love that, right? Even just a box mix brownie is outstanding. But a lot of times the store-bought brownies are terrible. So I will say this is better than many store-bought brownies that I've had. but comparing it to like freshly baked brownies, I mean, it doesn't even hold a candle, right? So there's that at play. Then when you look at like the consistency, there's a lot of factors here as well. It felt very soft and moist before I even opened it. And it's not dry, but it also crumbles weirdly into like a million pieces, which I kind of wasn't expecting. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I am a little amazed that it is still this moist after having been manufactured. It says manufactured last September. So that was a while back. So I'm wondering what they're putting in this thing. I'm somewhere between a like and an indifferent.
Yes, me too.
Going back and
Yeah.
forth. You know, the flavor's all right. I think I am gonna give it a like that. I think it is just barely good enough. It has, here's why. It has a very nice top layer, like that sort of top skin on top of it, I think is good. And that's enough to just bump it up to a like that for me.
The best part of a brownie is this top layer of skin. Yeah. Peel back that skin and get at the good stuff. What the fucking creepy way to describe a brownie.
Love me that skin.
Okay, I'm glad. I'm glad I made you go first because you made my decision for me. I was the same way, torn in between the two. The more you described the brownie, the scarier it got to me about when it was made, the consistency, how it was moist but still fell apart, the skin, all the skin talk. I started looking at it and sort of pushing it slowly away from me. I was a little frightened of it. And when I have like remnants of it, and when I push it down, some of the crumbles, I push them down, and then they sort of rise on their own, like they're alive.
Hey, it's finished for rise, isn't it?
So I'm going to give it after, even though I'm deathly frightened of it, I'm going to give it an indifferent to that because it still does taste like a decent brownie. I think brownies are so good, and like you said, a prepackaged brownie has almost an impossible road to go to be good because
Yeah.
it doesn't make for a good prepackaged snack. And I think it crumbling also has some points against it because if I'm going to be eating this brownie, I don't want to be having to sit at a table to do it, and it falling apart is going to be a big problem.
It's a great point.
So Geiger, you've got the episode in your hands here. The Mad Fritz had two indifferents and a like, and if you go indifferent, we're going to end up with a tie, or you can be the Daily'n hero and take this thing home.
So a couple points I'm confused about with your guys' stance. So what?
Just a couple.
Yeah.
Look,
like why
what
you
didn't
enjoy
you understand about the top skin?
why you enjoy brownie top skin on your freshly made brownies? Remind me not to eat any brownies at your house. Why does this brownie have fingerprints? Don't worry about it. You're talking about like if I eat a brownie, I don't want to eat it at a table. What the fuck are you talking? Like you want to eat a brownie in the car? Like where else are you gonna eat a brownie? Sitting down at dessert, right? I mean,
right. Well,
it's not like a candy bar.
Well, if it's a packaged brownie, I assume if it's something's in a package like this, I should be able to open it in my car and eat it. If I did that, I would be covered in brownie.
Okay.
Right? The only way you could successfully eat this is at a table.
You can't eat this brownie while clinging to the bottom of a hayride, so it's no good.
I just think you guys have some. I think we're judging this a little unfairly. Like that's so some of these like chocolate chip cookies we have. And no shit, they're not as good as fresh baked chocolate chip cookies. That's not what we're judging them on. We're judging them on as a snack. Does it taste good? It's not fair to judge them on the freshly made version of it. Of course, it's not going to be as good.
I get that, but some things are just much worse than. There's some things that are better in candy version than I could make at home.
Like,
So-
This Mad
I don't know.
Fritz
Your
was-
homemade Skittles are pretty
The
fantastic.
Mad Fritz was way better than the freshly baked Mad Fritz I made yesterday.
Yeah. You make Chad Fritz?
Then bring this thing home.
Yeah,
If
no.
you're gonna make it. Okay.
Yeah. Here's my
Go ahead.
thing. I'm comparing it to other snacks of its ilk, meaning other pack. Like, remember when we had that brownie? It was a little Debbie brownie, and the thing was a fucking brick. It
I
was
like
terrible.
that brownie.
Oh, Jesus
It's
Christ.
terrible.
Then your
Terrible
rating
brownie.
makes even less sense to me.
Tremendous top skin on that brownie.
I will tell you what, the epidermal layer on that brownie was to die for. Perfect amount of hair and crisp. No, it's I think it's actually impressive how moist it is, right? For being a prepackaged food.
Right.
And I think the chocolate flavor was decent. A lot of these like brownie cake type things we've eaten have just been generically sweet. And this actually tasted like chocolate. I agree the consistency was difficult. I'm not looking for this as like a on the go, like grab a quick breakfast and do it or like jog while eating it. Like I expect to be sitting down. I'm fine with that.
At a table?
I think I think it tastes good, and I'm impressed by how moist and like well made it is for being something that's prepackaged and mass produced. So I ate the whole thing, which is disgusting because I've had 2 brownies tonight already. And a cupcake. We were at a banquet thing tonight. I give it a like that. I think it's good. It's not fantastic. It's not the best snack I've ever eaten. And if it was up against other like chocolatey snacks, I probably wouldn't take it. But I think it's good. I think it's
Isn't
definitely
the
good.
moistness
Uh-huh.
off-putting? I mean, it is
No.
super moist, but how is that? It's defying science. There's something in there that should not be.
Yeah, okay. You think hard about a lot of the food you eat, you're going to get freaked out. I don't want to know.
Yeah, I mean-
I'm fine not knowing the magic.
Novak, you were manufactured long before last September, and you're moist AF, so you know.
Right. You're drenched half the time. Yeah, I mean, the alternative is a dry brick of a brownie, and that'd be terrible, right? So I'm fine that it's moist, even if it's, probably because it's horse cum or something.
But why does it crumble?
That I don't know. Yeah,
It's very weird.
Well, I'd be interested to hear from people who have if you know of a good prepackaged brownie snack, we would definitely be interested to
Yeah.
hear, and they can contact us and tell us. So let us know. Geiger, where can they do that?
Most of you who listen to this podcast know my phone number, so just call me, and we'll talk about it. No, you can reach us
And
at
for those that don't, give them those digits.
I want those digits, baby. Hit me up on the social medias.
What the fuck just
What?
happened?
That's a new staple of the episode. You can reach us at youtrydat@gmail.com. You can find us hashtag You Tried Dat on Twitter. We have a Facebook group on Facebook. That's where it is. And it's guessed it, You Tried Dat. We are also available on YouTube and anywhere else that you listen to your podcast. You can get us there. Reach out to us. Let us know about brownies. Let us know about other food. Let us know about what top skin is best in all the foods you eat. Also, just wherever you are listening to it, if you could leave us a review and some stars with a Z, that would be terrific.
And go to Twitter where you can answer this week's poll. Do you prefer your brownies with top skin or circumcised?
Do you prefer your brownies moist or completely unaroused? That's yucky.
So before we go, is the food with actually the best top skin? Is it like turkey/chicken? Is that really
Fried
the
chicken,
best
yeah.
skin on a food? Is
Yeah.
there anything else that I'm not thinking of that has a good skin?
Technically, pork rind is skin, right?
Yeah, no, it's for sure. It's for sure like the giant turkey leg, right?
Yeah.
Like that has the best top skin of all the.
Is bacon technically skin
Things.
or no? It's belly meat. Right?
No, it's ass, right?
bacon is
Bacon
ass.
Oh, no, wait, that's hot dogs.
It's like, yeah, bacon's pig ass, right? Welcome to our food podcast where we know jack shit about anything. I mean, I also know what orange is.
Here, hold on. I'm gonna Google is bacon pig ass.
What's your favorite skin, Novak, while he's waiting for that? Human skin, or what is it?
Yes. Human skin. That's it. Well, before Chad can get an answer from Google, let's call it a day. The winner today, though, is the Daily'n Brownie. Maybe rightfully so, maybe not. I'm still a little scared of it, but
The Daily
that'll do
Skin
it
Brownie.
We want to give a last thank you to Chrissy for sending us these snacks. We really appreciate
Absolutely.
it, and we'd love to do
Yes.
these episodes.
Come back, Chrissy.
That will do it for this time, but we'll be back next time. We'll be trying out 3 brand new snacks.
Deuces.
Yep.